Right. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Right. So for today, we are going to go through our first topic. Right. Which is about the portfolio management process. Boleh dengar kan?
Boleh, Doktor.
All right. Okay, thanks. So this would be the introduction of how the process of portfolio will be done. Okay, you're gonna see later on what would be the steps. And first of all, obviously, we're gonna go through again what does it mean by when we talk about portfolio management. Basically, it's all about how to manage our portfolio funds. Okay, meaning here when we want to invest either our own money for our own investment or on behalf of our, let's say lah, if you work in an agency in the future, let's say handling your client's money, for example. Okay, so it's either you manage your own money, your own funds, or possibly you can manage other people's money as well. Sekejap, Let me stop this for a while. Okay, so I hear some noise just now. Okay, coming back to this one. So this is this course, like I mentioned during our in our first meeting before, it is like a continuation from what you've learned in the investment planning course before, right? I can't remember the code, but we have one investment planning which is part of the module for MFPC. Okay, for this course, it is not part of the module, but it is part of a major process. So therefore, you need to get at least C, as I mentioned before. Anyway, as I said, when we do portfolio management, it is basically part of the investment process. So going back to that, okay, kita tengok balik definition of investment. So it is defined as a current commitment of a ringgit, okay, a certain amount of money for a certain period of time. And obviously, when you put aside a certain amount of money, okay, you intend to get a higher returns in the future. Okay, so these future payments, obviously, as I said, you want to have the value to be higher, okay, in compensation for the times of the fund that you're committed, because X amount of money that you have and you put aside as a commitment for a higher returns in the future, you actually can do something with that money now. Okay, sepatutnya lah. So you katakan you have 10,000 ringgit. Okay, you have 10,000 ringgit. Let's see if I can write this. Okay, X amount of money, let's say lah, RM 10,000 ringgit. Okay, a lot of things can be done with 10,000 ringgit today. Okay, ada dalam in your hand 10,000 ringgit, you have a lot of things to do. Okay, you can go shopping, you can travels, okay, you can go for a high class fine dining to enjoy, some good quality foods, for example, with some experience. Okay, tetapi instead of you do that, all of that, okay, the 10,000 ringgit, you put aside and keep in an investment fund. Okay, so technically you are, you are sacrificing the possible usage of that 10,000 ringgit today with, like I said lah, the intention is to have a bigger values in the future. Okay, so therefore you can sacrifice, and the sacrifice kita intend lah to get higher returns, but obviously it comes with risk. Okay, whenever we do investment, right, it will always come together with the risk, the uncertainty kat sini. Okay, so when we talk about risk, obviously there'll be plenty of options where to put your money. You can put your money in a safe, kind of investment that will give you generally lower returns. Okay, but the capital of this 10,000, okay, will remain intact. Okay, you invest dalam, types of fund yang akan bagi you low returns tetapi with low risk, obviously. Okay, but if you are willing to take some risk, okay, you have other options. Okay, other options. But obviously you have to take some element of risk in the investment, right? And with the possibility of the capital of this 10,000 can erode. Erode tu maksudnya from the 10,000 can shrink. Okay, boleh turun less than 10,000. As I said, if you keep in the bank, either in savings account, cuma savings account, as you all know lah, savings account will give you around 0.2%, less than 1%. Okay, or you can put in FD, for example, savings. So FD will give you, let's say, around 3 to 4%. Okay, jarang lah for about 3-ish percent. Okay, fixed deposits. Okay, so this 10,000 will remain intact, but you can generally receive a small fraction of returns. Okay, but if you label yourself or you classify yourself as a higher risk taker, you might opt to other types of investment. Okay, types of investment lah. So in terms of what kind of investment, nanti kita discuss kejap lagi. So why people invest? Okay, why people invest? As I illustrate earlier, we save money now. Okay, we keep aside that amount of money and avoid spending it now. Okay, with the trade-off, okay, with the expectation to conserve the present consumption. So sepatutnya the 10,000 you can use it now. Okay, but you want to get a larger future consumption because you are expecting to receive returns. Okay, we talk about investment. One of the elements selain daripada risk obviously is the return. Okay, so we will measure the return as well kejap lagi or in the next topic juga. Right? So who are the investors? Okay, so in the economy, selalunya tak kira lah investors ke, lenders ke, borrowers ke, usually kita split into three actually, to be honest with you. Kita ada individuals ataupun sometimes we letak dia sebagai household. Household ni maknanya isi rumah. Okay, every individuals in the country can be investors. Number two is corporates ataupun companies. This is general. And number three, government. Okay, so that's why kat sini you can see all three we have in terms of the representative kat dalam investors ni. Alright, so for individuals, so ni dalam economy punya theory, always we have three parties. So individuals is the types of investment ataupun investors, that normally invest either in stocks or shares. So here it might happen, let's say kalau kat Malaysia ni, it will be in Bursa Malaysia. Okay, we invest in stocks and shares. Right. Bonds, not so actually, tapi possible juga either directly or indirectly. Kalau you ingat, both stocks and bonds happen in the capital market. You dah belajar ni before. So, capital market. They might invest in commodities as well. Okay, commodities ni termasuklah either again directly or indirectly. Kalau directly, they invest in proper commodity lah, gold contohnya. okay, or any other agricultural products possible. Or kalau indirect, they might invest in derivatives. Sebab derivatives selalunya menggunakan commodities as the underlying assets. Okay, derivatives pun you're supposed to know about this already because you've learned about banking and financial services before. Okay, so they can invest in commodities either directly. So kalau gold ni direct, kalau indirectly, they might use derivatives lah, direct. Okay, so maknanya they beli instruments in derivative market with underlying to purchase or to sell some commodities. Okay, or they can invest in real estates, ni property lah. Property. Okay, and again, kalau they invest directly in property, dia beli rumah, dia beli shop lots, they can either generate the returns by beli at a lower price and then bila harga dia naik, dia jual to get profits. Okay, that's possible to happen. Or dia boleh beli property tu, keep to themselves, tapi dia rent out, dia bagi sewa. Pun will become their income and return as well. Okay, so property boleh dua cara. And again, if you recall, untuk real estates, they can invest indirectly. Okay, menggunakan REITs. Okay, this one also you've heard and learned before, REITs. Real Estate Investment Trust. Macam unit trust, tapi the trust focus on real estates. Okay, as you hopefully still remember, just baru beberapa bulan yang lepas ya, REITs ni usually either shopping malls, hospitals, anything that can generate income from rental. Okay, so that's real estate. So ada banyak option lah as an individuals where they will invest their money. And all of this comes in various risk level. Okay, setiap satu ni risk dia berbeza-beza lah. Stock and shares mungkin medium high punya level. Okay, bonds mungkin can be considered low sebab bonds selalunya will give you a fixed return. So bila fixed return dia punya, dia punya risk tu, we can consider it as a low risk kind of investment. Okay, commodities selalunya medium. Okay, but when we talk about derivatives, it will be high. Okay, high risk kind of investment lah. Okay, property pun depends on location. It can be medium or it can be high, especially if the place that you invested to, tiba-tiba something bad happened to the area, and then the price plummets down, for example. Okay, REITs sama macam unit trust, dia about medium level of risk. Okay, so that's individuals. Okay, so this one done lah. Right, so we left with corporates, companies ataupun government. Okay, sebenarnya corporates and government can invest in all of this as well. Apa yang individual ni dia dah invest, they can invest in that as well. Okay, they possibly can invest in whatever individuals can invest, but especially for corporates, they might invest additionally, okay, in plants, equipment and machineries. Ni kalau company lah, bila dia ada company, obviously in order for them to operate, okay, bila dia nak operate dia day-to-day punya operations, dia kena invest lah. Plants ni, as you all know lah, like kilang. Okay, they need to invest in kilang warehouses, and in kilang factory plants, warehouses, they need equipments inside there. Okay, depending on what kind of operation they are doing lah. So equipment pun can be expensive. Okay, now maintain plants pun it costs a lot. Machineries as well. So all of these would be types of investment for the corporates. Okay, for the corporates especially. Okay, so these are the investors. So what do investors expect in return? Okay, generally the easiest answer would be they want positive future returns. Okay, anything yang will give them higher values on top of whatever amount yang di invest. Okay, that will be their main aims. Okay, tak ada siapa yang nak invest. Like, for example, tadi RM10,000 dengan harapan esok, minggu depan, next month, it will remain 10,000 sahaja. Okay, obviously they expect some element of positive returns. Okay, so what kind of positive returns? Okay, it can come in various forms. Okay, yang paling senang when we talk about investment, okay, yang ada fluctuations of price. Okay, kalau ada certain instruments, okay, investment that we invest, the price of the investment can fluctuate, can go up or even down. Okay, the positive return datang daripada price appreciation. Okay, what does it mean? Harga yang dia beli hari ini, okay, it will appreciate ataupun harga dia akan naik in the future positively. Okay, nama pun naik mesti positif, kalau turun negatif kan. So price appreciate means if you buy a certain investment at a certain X money, X ringgit for example, right? And after 1 month, whatever amount in the future lah, ataupun whatever period in the future, you want that amount of 10,000, X amount of money will increase X plus profit ataupun X plus price appreciation. Okay, tak kira lah 1%, 2%, it all depends on individuals. Right, and all again depends on the products that you invest. Right, so that's number one. Okay, sini letak number one can come from the price appreciation. Cuma for price appreciation, selalunya the returns will only be realized, kita panggil the term dia realize, the profit ataupun return will be realized when they sell. Okay, when they sell their investment ataupun their asset lah. Okay, contoh paling simple, rumah. Okay, contoh rumah tadi they purchase a house, let's say I don't know, 500,000 ringgit. Okay, now. Okay, 2 years from now, for example, sebab future can be, like I said lah, can be tomorrow, can be next month, can be next year, or even 2 years, 5 years, short term, long term kan. Tapi katakanlah after 2 years, the price of the property yang dia beli sekarang 500,000 increase to 520,000 contohnya lah. Okay, so ada 20,000 capital ataupun price appreciation. Okay, so this 20,000 can be a return, can be a profit, tapi dengan syarat you have to sell first. Sebab kalau you tak jual, this 20,000 only appear on paper. Okay, only appear on paper. Okay, you nampak lah, okay, you beli 500,000 and when you survey the market now, the property is 520,000, or maybe your next door neighbor dah jual rumah dia 520,000, and you know if you sell your house, you're gonna get more or less the same amount of money. Contohnya lah, right? So you only can gain ataupun you only can enjoy the returns, the profit, dengan syarat you sell the property ataupun you sell the assets. Okay, so that's stock price appreciation. And when we talk about price appreciation, tak semestinya stock. Okay, as I said, can be stock or any other assets that fluctuates in price. Okay, tapi yang paling fluctuates a lot, obviously, when we invest in stock market, price can be, up and down within the same day. Okay, tengah hari dia naik, but by the time before they, close the market, the price can go down, for example. But anyway, when we talk about price appreciation, ingat ni, profits or losses only on paper, but you can see the value of your assets, but you only will realize it, okay, yeah, the terms here, realize, when you sell your assets. Okay, macam contoh rumah tadi lah. Number two, the return can come, number two dengan number three ni sebenarnya can be together lah, depending on the types of products ataupun the types of investment. Okay, some akan bayar dalam bentuk dividend, some mungkin bayar dalam bentuk interest. Okay, but these two, you don't have to sell to enjoy. Okay, sebab selagi you hold the investment, selagi itulah you might get the dividend or the interest. So dividend and interest ni akan dibayar, akan dibayar oleh the types of investment that you invest in. Okay, what kind of investment? Stocks. So if you invest in stocks, they will pay dividend. Who will pay the dividend? The company that own the stocks. Okay, company yang issue the stocks. Okay, Apple. Contohnya kalau kat Malaysia kita ada Petronas, Maybank, whatever. The company ada share, ada stocks in the market, and you invest by purchasing their stocks. Okay, so bila you beli stocks dia, okay, and you keep it during the dividend payment punya period, okay, bila dia announce dividend, and masa dia buat announcement tu, you kebetulan you pegang stocks tu, you tak jual. Okay, meaning you hold the stocks during that period of time. So when they announce the dividend that will be paid within 3 weeks from now or 1 month from now, so kalau you simpan sampai date tu, right? So they will give you the dividend payment. Okay, depending on how many units you hold lah during that time. Okay, so untuk dividend ataupun interest income, syarat dia pula, you tak boleh jual. You must hold the investment during the payment period. Okay, so you still own your stocks, you tak jual, but on top of that, you will receive dividend payment. Okay, so that's the second and third lah. So interest ni pula adalah types of investment yang tak bayar dividend tapi dibayar interest. Contohnya fixed deposit, contohnya lah. So they will pay you interest. Okay, after 6 months, after 1 year, they will pay out interest to you. Okay, kalau dia conventional bank. Okay, kalau dia Islamic bank, they might give you profit. Okay, profit sharing. Contohnya. Okay, in the form of investment accounts. Okay, and ada juga certain types of investment that might give you returns in the form of certain tax benefits. What kind of certain tax benefit? Contohnya tax exemption. Okay, tax exemption. What kind of tax exemption? Government bagi some schemes. Okay, kalau you as a company contohnya you open energy savings ataupun green technology for your operations, you can generate ataupun you can benefit a certain tax exemption. So sepatutnya you kena bayar full tax tapi you tak bayar tax langsung. Okay, so the tax exemption tu adalah return to you sebab you don't have to pay the government X amount ataupun X% of tax. But because of you invest, you know, your company's fund into a certain technology yang memerlukan certain amount of money, let's say again 100,000 katalah, teknologi tu nilai dia 100,000. So how you get the return from the 100,000 is by having the tax exemption. Okay, government kata okay, sepatutnya kalau normal operation you have to pay 20% tax, tapi because of this you dapat pengurangan ataupun totally zero tax contohnya. So that percentage is your return. Okay, so these are the types of return lah investor can get. Okay, tak semestinya kita tengok bila kita cerita pasal return profit, kita nampak profit untung daripada harga cost and then dengan harga jual. Okay, tak, dia datang dalam banyak bentuk lah, in many types of forms. So that's investment. Okay, sepatutnya you can imagine, you can understand the concept of investment. All of those are actually recap from investment planning that you've learned before. Now, we go focus on what we are doing for this course untuk semester ni, which is portfolio management. So what does it mean by portfolio management? It is a set of securities. Okay, the keyword adalah set. Okay, and securities ni tak semestinya bila kita jual securities selalunya financial market lah. Okay, but it can be together with assets. Okay, which helps to spread the risk of investment. So maknanya kat sini, if you have, let's say 100,000 ringgit or whatever amount of money, okay, you don't put all 100,000 into just one type of investment. Okay, you put aside ataupun you spread it, okay, across multiple types of investment. Itu adalah investment portfolio. Okay, that's why the keyword dekat situ adalah asset. So set ni minimum berapa? Minimum 2 lah. Minimum 2 types. Okay, kalau 1 is not portfolio. It's just an investment. But if you have at least 2, then you can declare it as a set of securities. You invest separuh duit you in stock market. You invest separuh lagi maybe in unit trust, for example. Okay, so minimum 2. So kalau other people yang have a lot more capital, mungkin dipecahkan lagi to multiple, 4, 5, whatever. Okay, dengan syarat you can manage it. You kena tahu macam mana nak manage. Kalau ada banyak sangat pun investment, tapi you don't know how to manage your funds, so it defeat the purpose. The funds must be managed properly. So that's why nama dia pun management kan, portfolio management. Okay, so why we have this spread, multiple types of securities? Reason dia satu je, to minimize the risk. Okay, we try to lower the risk. Imagine like this, you have 100,000, you invest dalam satu investment saja. If that particular investment falls in value, okay, semua value of your investment 100,000 tu will be jeopardized. Semua is exposed to the risk. Okay, so 100,000, satu stock, katakanlah invest in one stock je, tapi stock tu tiba-tiba jatuh, so all 100,000 is jeopardized. Okay, exposed to the falls of the price. Okay, but if you spread it to a very good portfolio yang unrelated from one to another, so kalau satu investment jatuh values, the others can cover in terms of either they remain constant, okay, or they can go the other way around. So satu tu stock jatuh ataupun satu tak investment jatuh, but the other investment naik. Okay, so it will balance out, you know, the pressure ataupun the impact from the value of your, you know, declining types of investment. So yang turun tu akan di-cover balik dengan the types of investment yang increase. Okay, so that's the purpose lah, to balance it out ataupun to lower down the risk of investment. So portfolio management handles a pool of funds for the purpose of investment which is consistent with the investor's preference and attitude towards the risk. So ni yang kita akan go through kejap lagi lah. Bila kita nak buat portfolio management, obviously everybody will have different feelings, different response, different attitude towards risk. Okay, setiap orang tak mempunyai risiko ataupun tahap risiko yang sama. Right? So yeah. So kita kena buat, actually in order to know this preference attitude, kita kena buat survey lah. We have to do survey to the particular investor. So when we do portfolio management, we expect to receive return consistently together with the risk portfolio. So why choose portfolio? Because you want to spread and also to minimize the risk, as I mentioned, in the form of diversification. We diversify the investments. Okay, so investors can invest in different assets with different degree of risk. Okay, sebab macam saya cakap tadi, every type of investment tak sama risiko dia. Ada yang low risk, ada yang medium, ada yang high risk. Okay, so don't invest everything in high risk. Okay, kalau you very high risk taker, Okay, berani mati punya investor. But don't put everything lah on the high risk investment. You need to put some amount dekat medium or even low risk kind of investment. So that as I said, dia boleh mengurangkan ataupun meminimalkan the risiko. Okay, when we talk about risk, if you have to bear this in your mind, kita tak boleh eliminate. We cannot eliminate. Cannot eliminate risk. Risk tu tak boleh go down to zero. Okay. There's always element of risk. Okay, especially kalau risk ataupun the types of investment yang akan bagi you return yang good kind of return lah. Okay, will always have some element of risk. Cuma ada certain types of investment yang kita letak dia sebagai risk-free investment, but that will give you bare minimum returns. Okay, so if that's the case, don't do portfolio management lah. Portfolio management tak perlu untuk orang yang okay, dia nak investment dia letak dalam bank saja, which is dalam FD, dalam savings account. That will give you minimum returns. Okay, if that's the case, we don't do portfolio management. Okay, sebab apa? The returns from savings, from FD alone, in the long run, will not be sufficient for your returns. Sebab apa? Sebab remember, our money, technically, kalaulah duit you 10,000 hari ni, you pun dah belajar this before, 10,000 today is not the same as 10,000 in the future. Because selain daripada we can invest that money, the 10,000 is exposed to what we call as the risk of inflation. Inflation, right? So what is inflation? Inflation relates dengan purchasing power. Okay, purchasing power. As simple as, if you recall, tak tahulah, 10 years ago dengan hari ni, the same RM100 contohnya. RM100 10 years ago, we can buy a lot of things. Tapi RM100 hari ni, the products ataupun the goods that we can buy becomes even smaller. Okay, why? Why that happened? Because of the inflation. Okay, the inflation. So again, if you keep your money in a bank, to savings account, even FD, in the long run, you akan rugi. Sebab apa? The inflation akan eats up the value of your money. Okay, inflation tu akan naik setiap tahun, tapi your amount of money akan remain the same, remain constant. So that's why we try to beat the inflation rates by invest in a higher returns investment, so that kita punya value of money itu selain daripada boleh generate returns, kita boleh beat the inflation punya rates as well. So katakanlah inflation rate sekarang kat Malaysia, I'm not sure, about 2 to 4% maybe. Okay, 2 to 4%. So kalau you simpan duit you dalam bank sahaja, like I said, this barely cover the inflation rates. Okay, so that's why we need to try to beat this so that we can, increase the value of our money. Okay, selain daripada, like I said lah, the capital saja, preserve the capital, kita nak dapat return as well. So that's why we need to know how to manage the portfolio lah, so that we can minimize the risk in our journey to, to generate higher returns. So the portfolio management process involve various steps. Okay. Okay. So it involves the process of setting up the objectives, okay, develop, implement strategies, monitoring, okay, and obviously we need to review and adjust portfolio. So the steps and processes ni, semua ni, kita akan go through for each and every topics throughout the semester. Kalau tak salah, masa tu last week kita dah cakap we have 11 topics kan. So dia punya proses tu almost follow the sequence lah. Cuma untuk setting objektif ni memang kita akan learn in topic number 1. Topic number 1. Tapi develop and implement strategies ni, I think from topic 2 sampai topic 8 kalau tak salah. Or even 9. I'm not mistaken. Monitoring ni topik 10, kalau tak salah juga. And 11, something like that. Okay, so majority of our activities akan revolve around developing and implementing strategies, which includes together with selecting the investment. Okay, so that's how it works for our portfolio management process. So we go details. Okay, how to manage the portfolio. So step number one. Okay, step number one, we need to construct a policy statement. So policy statement ni sepatutnya, okay, better to have it written, bertulis. Okay, so for now, when we talk about portfolio management process, imagine yourself as a financial planner. Okay, you bayangkan you sebagai financial planner manage ataupun plan for your clients punya funds. Okay, so for this, you just imagine like that. You sebenarnya boleh buat untuk yourself juga, tapi just for the sake of understanding this better, imagine yourself managing other people's money. Okay, so you can first construct a policy statement, best if you can have it written. Okay, you akan buat this in your module 7. Remember, you sekarang semester 6 kan? Next semester, you kena buat what we call as module 7. Module 7 of MMPC. MMPC. So this is a written report. Okay, written report yang you have to prepare for a potential client ataupun a client. Okay, and first things you need to know from this person is dia punya ni lah, to construct the policy statement. So what kind of information you need? Okay, you need to know the investment goals. Apa dia nak? So investment goals ni, you selalunya akan pecah dia kepada short term, medium term, and long term. Give me 1 second. Not sure if I have the soft copy, tapi kalau ada nanti I share. So this is what we call as construction of financial plan. So the module 7, I can give you this so-called document lah, the guidelines. So kat dalam ni, we have one document called fact finding sheet. Okay, fact finding. Tak kat sini perkataan dia. Fact finding sheet. Okay, kita nak mencari maklumat tentang our potential clients. So selain daripada their basic information like their names, their age, gender, address, salary, spouse kalau ada, kalau dia family ada spouse, ada children, for example child or children, ada ramai. We need to know as well, okay, their investment goals. Apa yang dia nak achieve, short term, medium term, and long term. So here, short term, they define anything less than 3 years. Okay, anything less than 3 years, dia letak sebagai short term. So medium term is in between 3 to 7 years. Okay, 3 to 7 years will be medium term. And for long term, anything more than 7 years. Okay, so it depends on individuals lah. Masa your client tu umur berapa tahun? Adakah dia umur 40, 30, even 50s? So everybody will have different short term, medium term, and also long term. So imagine your client, let's say umur dia, I don't know, 30 tahun, 30 years old. Okay, 30 years old, imagine 30 tahun. So obviously short term dia mungkin 30 tahun ni dia dah kerja lah for the past 10 years. So maybe after 10 years, the short term planning dia is to own a house. Sebelum ni maybe dia tinggal with parents or even dia rent. But now after 10 years of working, katakanlah dah umur 30, dia dah simpan, save up certain capitals for deposits, for the down payments of a house. So short term dia within 3 years dia nak beli rumah. Okay, so we need to know lah the investment goal dia. Short term basis is to purchase a house for him or herself. Medium term 3 to 7. 30 tahun 3 to 7. Mungkin dia punya medium term is to get married contohnya, katakanlah dia nak settle down. Okay, and dia nak invest in their child's education contohnya. It can be medium term. And long term pun sama lah, dia nak continue for child education long term and for retirement. So itulah investment goals of that particular person. Tu kalau umur dia 30. If your client is 40 years old, mungkin short term dia bukan rumah anymore. Dia dah ada rumah. So short term dia mungkin something else. Right? So we need to know the investment goals of that particular client, investor. And at the same time, what would be the acceptable risk level? So macam mana nak tahu acceptable risk level? Again, this is where, as I said, kita kena buat survey. Ya, ataupun we can ask them in a questionnaire. So again, dalam contoh from this fact finding sheets, dia ada soalan. Okay, there's a simple questions related dengan how they behave with regards to risk. So dia ada dalam case ni ada 6 soalan je. Okay, so each answers will give you some points. Okay, so dia ada range lah. Dalam case ni kejap lagi, if I can find a soft copy, I'll share with you. Let's say dia ada 3 options for each questions. Okay, so dia ada range score 6 to 10. Dalam case ni 6 to 10 dikonsider sebagai low risk. 6 to 10 points, low risk. Lepas tu 11 to 15, medium. 16 to 18 sebab dia 6 soalan, maksimum 3 jawapan saja. I mean 3 points per question. So 18 is the maximum lah dalam case ni. 6 is the minimum. Kalau you answer semua 1 je marks you, kena go 6 lah. So 16 to 18 ni is a high risk investor lah. So we can profile the customer ataupun the client based on their answers. Okay, so kita dah tahu apa dia punya goals and we know also dia punya risk level. So when we have this information, then we can plot what kind of investment suitable for this particular person. So kalau dia low risk taker, we cannot suggest them, investment yang high risk. Okay, it's not suitable for them. They are not comfortable with that kind of exposure to risk. Okay, so you can be careful kat sini lah. And this policy statement, okay, yang specify the goals dengan acceptable risk level should be reviewed periodically. Okay, kena review lah once a year, annually ke contohnya. After a year, go back to the policy statement, tengok still relevant ataupun tidak. If you need changes, make some changes kat situ. Right, and obviously you need to guide all investment decisions. Okay, sebab you kena ingat your clients, okay, dalam case ni, sometimes they might have some knowledge how to invest themselves, but sometimes they tak tahu macam mana invest. They have the money, but they don't know how to do it. So you have to guide them lah, and tell them what needs to be done with regards to investment decisions. Okay, so itu step yang pertama. prepare a policy statement. Okay, whereby dalam policy statement tu adalah dia punya goals and also acceptable risk level. Step number 2, okay, this is more on the analysis part. You need to do some analysis. Study current and financial and economic conditions and forecast future trends. So you need to determine what kind of strategies you need to do, okay, to meet the goals yang di set tadi, short term, medium and long term, and it requires monitoring and updating. So step number 2 ni involve a lot of analysis. This is what we learn in our future topics. Okay, topik-topik yang akan datang ni akan go through all this analysis. So once you've done your analysis, you need to choose the best possible portfolio. So this is again akan ada tool jugalah untuk ni. To construct the portfolio, we have a tool to assist you macam mana nak determine which instruments to be put in the portfolio. So you need to allocate, okay, customer ada 100,000, for example, we need to know the big portion tu nak letak kat mana. Okay, 50% invest in stock, 20% in unit trust, 30% in FD contohnya, that combination. Okay, so we have to allocate accordingly lah in order to meet the investor's risk profile and obviously in order for the customer to get or to achieve the investment goals. And last step is to monitor. Always monitor and update. Sometimes when we do the construction of portfolio, because we forecast. Okay, step number 2 tadi, we need to forecast as well. Sometimes our forecast can be, you know, can be away from what we expect. So we have to monitor lah sama ada the progress, the forecast tu according to our plan ataupun tidak. If something missing ataupun, you know, getting away from your target, you can revise. You have to monitor and update accordingly lah. So you can revise lah. Sell certain investment and then move to other investment that can, you know, move back to the track. So you can modify your strategy accordingly. Okay. Selain daripada strategi, you can revise the policy juga if required. So the process tu, sebelah ni ada kot. The process tu dia, you know, dia bukan follow the sequence saja. The final step tu you can reverse, either go back to the previous step from the construction of portfolio, or you can go back to policy statement, ubah policy statement before you reverse balik ke bawah the next steps, or you can revise to the second step. So process dia very dynamic. It's not static and it's not, you know, static lah, I can say. Dia akan berubah dynamic according to the situation. So as a portfolio manager, you have to be very flexible lah. You tak boleh lah rigid and static saja. You have to be flexible in order to, you know, patah balik ke previous statements. Previous steps. Right, so sekarang pukul 11. Let's take a short break. Okay, I'll try to find this financial plan ni soft copy kalau ada so that you can see better lah what I meant just now. So let's take a short break before we continue with the next one. Okay, let's restart. So, okay, I'll share with you this one first. Saya tak sure you pernah tengok ke tak dokumen ni. So this is what I said earlier. What we call as the fact finding sheet. Okay, masih nak buat module 7 nanti, next semester. like I said, you have module 7 with MFPC. Meaning you have to take the exam and also to prepare the written report, and you have to submit it to MFPC. Itu satu. And in order to guide you, okay, we have one course, financial plan. Apa tak nama khusus lah. Application or in financial planning. Dr. Aisyah. So she will guide you as well. Ada satu khusus and you need to prepare similar things. Cuma you akan go through dengan dia 14 minggu. Dan ada exam macam biasa. Cuma paper ni tak exempted. Kalau macam we have 7 modules, 6 modules will be exempted. Ada fundamental you have taken, I guess. Mesti dah ambil lah fundamental satu. And then you have risk management and insurance. Okay, and then you have investment planning. Okay, some of you mungkin masuk my class before investment planning. Or Cik Bahar. And then you have zakat and tax planning. You've taken this guest last semester, zakat and tax dengan Dr. Zanti. Then you have estate planning. Estate tu tak sure semester ni ke semester lepas with Tuan Nadi. And then you have retirement planning. Okay, and retirement planning are last. So 6 modules will be exempted kalau you lulus semua paper ni, 6 ni, minimum C. Okay, next semester you can apply for the exemption. Okay, you can apply with the exemption. So MMPC akan ask for your transcripts and your IC for example, and then dia akan bagi exemption lah. You akan dapat kelepasan untuk dapat tak perlu mengambil exam untuk nak paper ni. And you left with one more je, satu je lagi, which is module 7. Module 7 ni you have to pass via MMPC. So you need to sit for the exam, and like I said, selain daripada exam, you have to submit the written report. So written report tu bermula sepatutnya dengan by this one lah, the fact finding sheet. So this is the one that you need to prepare. So you kena carilah potential client, and then you kena isi all the information. So I tak nak go through ni panjang kat sini, sebab kat sini nanti you dah belajar juga kan. Some of them you dah belajar masa fundamental, contohnya nak buat cash flows, nak buat balance sheet of the clients and so on, calculate the ratios, okay, net worth statement. So adalah ratio dia juga. So this is the financial goals. Tadi ada cakap kan, in your policy statement kena ada you have to state the financial goals. So this fact finding sheet akan specify lah what are the clients financial goals. Short term basis, okay, less than 3 years, medium 3 to 7 years, and the long term. Okay, and the long term. So setiap satu goals dia akan ada some values lah. Kalau rumah, kata tadi ada bagi example, short term dia nak beli rumah. So what will be the estimated cost of the house? Let's say harga rumah tu 500,000. So you letak kat sini 500,000. Estimation medium for child's education ataupun dia punya long term lah, katakan long term dia is for the child's education. So education dia nak hantar ke mana? University local, overseas, private university, public universities. So you kena letak lah berapa cost dia. So kalau dia nak pension, katakanlah dia nak retire more than 7 years, you kena letak lah what would be estimated monthly income dia bila dia retire. So kena letak lah, specify kat situ. And dia ada priorities. Okay, ni kita tak go through. Okay, so this is another one. We want to know the risk profile kan tadi kan. We need to know the risk level. So ada 6 soalan kat sini. Okay, just a simple questions. And from this question, we can identify some of this person is a high risk taker, medium risk taker, ataupun low risk taker punya individuals lah. Right? So kalau bahasa lainnya, kalau high risk taker, selalunya kita panggil dia risk taker lah. Kalau dia low risk taker, selalunya kita panggil dia risk averse. They try to averse ataupun they try to avoid. Okay. So but anyway, contoh soalan dia, what is your investment time horizon? Berapa lama you nak simpan your investment? So kalau A ni is for short term, dia nak simpan setahun je. B ni is 5 years, medium term. And C tu for 10 years. Okay. So setiap satu jawapan ni will give you points. Okay, sekejap lagi kita tengok. Kalau tak salah saya lah, A tu 1, B tu 2, C tu 3. So when you hear unexpected, adverse or bad financial news, what you do? never overreact, rarely overreact, ataupun always overreact. Okay. So if you have invested in a stock that rose 25% within 3 months after you bought it, what you do? Do nothing or buy more shares, sell ataupun sell all your shares. Okay, so yang 3C ni memang dia high risk taker lah sebab dia nampak 25%, dia liquidate and then they move on to other investment. Contohnya lah. So in case of emergency, how many months punya savings you have? So kalau you punya saving ada cukup 3 bulan je, so you dapat 1 point. So kalau you punya savings boleh cover you 3 to 6 months punya living expenses, you are medium, number 2. Tapi kalau you have a lot of capital, maknanya savings you kalau you tak kerja pun, okay, tak kerja pun, duit ada 6 bulan covers, then you are C lah, number 3 ataupun 3 points. And so on. So setiap satu ni kena jawab and kita akan kira lah the total score. So the scoring system macam cakap A is 1 point, B is 2 points and C is 3 points. So you combine, maknanya kalau semua dia jawab C contohnya lah, so you're going to get 18 points. So 18 points represent a high risk profiling. And kalau the extreme part, kalau dia jawab semua A, so dia tak nak lose any returns. Kalau boleh dia tak nak lose, maknanya dia nak 0% losses. Savings dia nak keep very safe. Okay, duit pun tak banyak, ada 3 bulan je. Contohnya, simpan pun not more than 1 year sebab dia perlukan that money for other reasons contohnya. So kita akan letak dia at low risk punya profile lah. Okay, so this is how we profile our customers. Okay, so just some example lah. Okay, and you have to do this. Next semester memang kena buat. Okay, so just a preview lah. Now let's go back to the slide. Okay, slide ni panjang, taklah panjang 30 lebih, but I don't intend to go through everything. And I just not touch important points. So you know the management process, kena faham the concept, what would be the the sequence apa you kena buat, prepare the policy statement, buat analysis, examine the current situation. Selalunya situation ni kita akan go through from higher level, which is from negara punya situation, economic, political, kepada industry punya level, and low down to the company kalau kita invest in a certain types of stocks contohnya. The companies punya position jugalah. Right? So why investor needs a policy statement? Okay, we need to understand investors' needs and articulate realistic investment objective tadi kita discuss. And also additionally, ini kita tak cakap tadi, kita kena tahu juga constraint dia. What kind of hindrance that this company, this client might facing. Okay, apa masalah ataupun apa kekangan that this particular person ataupun your clients will face. Okay. So what are the real risks of an adverse financial outcome and what emotional reaction will I have? Ni semua ada dalam soalan-soalan questionnaire tadi. Right, or if there's any legal restrictions untuk this particular that we need to know lah, sebab kita tak boleh bila kita dah prepare our strategy, tiba-tiba rupanya kita baru tahu dia ada masalah legal contohnya. They cannot invest overseas, I don't know, for whatever reasons. So kita dah prepare plan untuk dia invest some portion in overseas punya investment, tapi because of ada kekangan, they cannot, contohnya lah. So we need to know this upfront. So that's why policy statement is really, really important. So number 2, set standards for evaluating. Sebab setiap satu policy statement tu, we need to know their expectations and we need to compare it against a benchmark. Okay, a benchmark lah. So benchmark ada dalam fact finding sheet tu ada benchmark returns. And yang paling penting why we need to have this policy statement is to avoid any and the last one, to avoid any potential disagreement. Disagreement ataupun disputes, to avoid dispute. Anything kalau kita cerita when we have relationship ataupun client relationship macam tu, we should have a documented punya document ataupun documented punya agreement. Okay, so this policy statement is technically as an agreement between yourself and your client. So you akan buat your decision based on information given on the documents, on the policy statement. Right, so dia akan cover both sides lah. What kind of coverage, customer tak boleh ditipu lah. Okay, so inappropriate ataupun unethical behavior can be eliminated. Sebab kita dah ada dokumen. Dia agree, portfolio manager dah agree, and you as client pun akan rasa comfortable sebab you dah ada some sort of a document agreement between the two. So dia akan mengurangkanlah possibility of inappropriate ataupun unethical behavior of the portfolio manager. But on the other side, as a portfolio manager pula, you akan boleh mengelakkan dispute lah. Tiba-tiba klien kata, why you tak, you don't follow my instruction, for example. Contohnya lah, dia kata tak follow my instruction, you don't invest accordingly. So you have document dah tunjuk dah kat situ. Okay, you kata you tak nak ni, so and so and so. So untuk mengelakkan potential disagreement or disputes, that's why we need policy statement. Okay, so both ways lah, dia akan protect the client dari ni unethical behavior dengan untuk portfolio managers pula in order to avoid disputes, especially dengan client. So the policy statement will be constructed based on the profiling of the customers. Like I said tadi lah, dia punya objectives and the risk. Okay, cuma I kena tambah satu lagi is the element of constraints tadi. Okay, objektif termasuklah dengan risk factor, together the potential returns and also the constraint. So constraint dipecahkan kepada a few things kat sini. Liquidity, that's number one. Adakah dia memerlukan the funding to be liquid? So meaning if emergency dia nak investment tu can be liquidate fast. Contohnya. Adakah dia akan invest in short term, medium term atau long term? Ada any tax factors that we need to consider ataupun legal requirements that we need to consider? And any other unique needs and preferences. Some kena specify lah. Dia kata, okay, as simple as constraint, dia kata, I nak invest in syariah compliance sahaja. Okay, for Muslim customers, dia nak syariah compliance. So, itu preference lah. So, we have to make sure bila kita buat analysis, we do our selections, kita kena comply lah dengan preference client tu. Okay, so all of this must be documented ada dalam policy statement. So kalau tiba-tiba kita punya portfolio managers pergi invest in genting punya stock contohnya. So dia dah against the preference of the the clients punya demand, which is invest dalam syariah compliance sahaja contohnya. So that's why document tu wujud. So kalau ada dispute macam ni, kita boleh refer and we can debate and we can settle this. So this one nanti you baca, kita ada discuss in general tadi, the objectives, okay, what kind of objectives they want, the types of return objectives, dia nak capital preservation sahaja ke? Kalau capital preservation ni selalunya untuk low risk investor lah. They just nak make sure capital dia preserve. Lepas tu for those yang nak capital appreciation, right? Some liquidity needs constraint tadi macam saya cakap tadi some nak the investment to be liquid so that kalau emergency dia boleh liquidate untuk dapatkan cash. Okay, so maknanya kalau company ni, the investor ada masalah ataupun kekangan dari segi liquidity, so kita kena invest dekat investment yang liquid sahaja. So don't invest dalam the non-liquid macam property ke contohnya, so it's not liquid. So don't contradict dengan whatever required by our clients. Okay, time horizon macam cakap juga. some investor dia tak willing to invest in longer terms investment, so dia punya time horizon tu very short. So therefore we need to match, okay, the time horizon of the customers punya preference, the tax concern macam cakap tadi, and the preferences. Okay, dia macam-macam lah. So salah satu contoh yang paling senang, as I can give you example, mungkin dari segi macam contoh tadi, syariah. Syariah matters. Okay, socially conscious investment. Okay, can be syariah, can be dia nak invest in green technology saja. Kalau dia ada very strong, dia salah seorang supporter of green energy, so dia tak nak invest in company yang exposed dengan pollution contohnya. So kena specify, right? So this is individual investors punya life cycle. So I nak explain ni by looking at this je. Okay, in the life cycle of an investor, dia akan, ni katakanlah kat sini tak tulis let's say lah, this is just graduate. Graduate umur apa selalu sekarang? You guys umur apa? 20, lepas graduate 21 21, 22 katakanlah. You graduate you akan start accumulate. Okay, daripada you start graduate, you akan start to accumulate your wealth. Okay, your net worth. Start daripada bekerja, sebab that's when you can generate your income lah. So selalunya bila you baru graduate, 21, 22 sampailah 25 ni, just between the first 10, 15 years macam tu lah. Okay, your short term goal selalunya libatkan either you want to purchase a car ataupun a house. Itu short term. Sebab baru bekerja, you have your own money, you want to be independent, you want to have your own transport, you want to have your own accommodation. Okay, you tak nak rely on other people to be independent contohnya lah. Right, but obviously different people will have different perspective. Mungkin dia nak beli kereta dulu, rumah dulu, whichever comes first. Right, and then in the long run, dia nak fikir about retirement. Okay, nampak retirement ni at the very beginning dah ada lah. Walaupun baru bekerja, you need to think about retirement early, very very early. Walaupun you baru 22, katakan baru start kerja, you akan retire umur 60. Retire kat sini, 60. Retire. So you have, 30, 35 years before retirement. Okay, you need to think that at very early stage. Okay, sebab you dah belajar kot retirement planning ke semester ni. There's a lot of cases when people retire, they don't have enough money. Okay, especially nowadays lah. Okay, so for those yang kerja private, your retirement punya fund datang from EPF. Okay, your retirement fund will be in EPF. Siapa yang government, daripada nanti dia akan dapat pension lah. But let's say majority of people akan kerja in private sector. Okay, so your fund akan datang daripada EPF yang ditolak daripada your own salary every month, together from the contribution of your company yang you kerja. So both akan contribute to the fund, to the EPF, from the day you start working sampai you retire, let's say 60 years old. Okay, so you accumulate lah daripada awal. But most of the time, bila sampai umur retirement ni, you ada satu source aja, which is the EPF funds. Okay, and EPF funds ni, you boleh withdraw sebenarnya sikit-sikit. You don't necessarily can withdraw everything. You can withdraw on monthly basis. You can ask EPF to give you ataupun to transfer to your savings account on monthly basis, macam dapat salary. Okay, you can ask for that arrangement. Tetapi kebanyakan, sebab when you reach umur retirement, you entitled untuk withdraw everything at one go, lump sum. Kalau ada sejuta dalam tu, you can withdraw 1 million if you want. If you have 1 million lah. Okay, but majority of people, bila dia withdraw everything from their accounts, okay, dia akan habiskan dia punya funds tu within 5 years. Dalam masa 5 tahun ni, duit yang dia withdraw from EPF tu akan habis. Okay, akan habis within 5 years. Kadang-kadang shorter than that, 3 tahun mungkin habis. Tengoklah berapa banyak you ada kan dalam account. If you have 1 million, mungkin it will take a while. Right? But if you have less amount of money, setiap kali ada withdrawal, you keluar, ICNA, you keluar, ada government bagi keluar masa COVID tu kan, semua orang keluar duit dalam dia punya EPF account. So, makin sikit lah your savings from EPF. Right? So, after 5 years, so maknanya daripada 60 kat sini, this range, by 65, you have zero money already. So kat Malaysia, life expectancy sekarang makin lama makin meninggi. Maknanya life expectancy bahasa Melayu apa? Jangka hayat hidup. Malaysian increase almost every year because of the advancement of technology, advancement of medical, whatever. So selalunya roughly dia akan life expectancy akan hidup, on average. Obviously akan ada yang die earlier. Tapi life expectancy on average about 75. Selalunya 75 ni mungkin perempuan lah, lelaki mungkin 73 contohnya. Tapi katakanlah on average 75. So you have 10 years from 65 to 75. Ni ada 10 tahun. You have 10 years left, tapi duit you dah zero. So how you want to survive for the next 10 years of your life without having money? So that's why very important at very young age. Baru je start kerja nanti, when you start, let's say sekarang you semester 6. So you have 1 year to go for your degree. Lepas tu you nak kerja after that. And so the first day you dah start kerja tu, you dah have to plan already. Selain daripada EPF, you need to create other funds so that bila you retire, you tak berharapkan EPF sahaja. You can have other funds to support you. So that's my advice lah. So retirement kena fikir daripada awal. Jangan umur 55 ni baru nak fikir retire. Lagi 5 tahun nak pension ni, baru nak fikir macam mana nak simpan duit. So kalau you start awal, you can accumulate more because the power you've learned about the power of time value of money and the annuity, how dia boleh compound every year if you keep in the long run. So better to start at early stage. Kat sini letak juga lah children's college needs. Tak tahulah dah kahwin ke belum, tapi maybe you can think about this. Kalau tak kat sini, maybe in your 30s lah. Right? And then after accumulation phase, you are in the consolidation phase. So this is the first stage. So this is the second stage. Consolidate. So ni you dah stable after a while, dah naik pangkat, you dah reach a certain level in the management ataupun in the office. So short term selalunya you nak every year pergi vacation. Boleh, tak ada masalah. You have the money, you can put aside certain amount of money. You want to go for vacations every year, either local or overseas contohnya. And sambung daripada children college tadi, kalau dia jadi long term masa umur 20s, now you be short term lah sebab anak you dah membesar and this is where your kids dah start masuk university. So dia akan jadi short term punya refinement for you. And again, long term still relates dengan retirement. Sebab you have about 20 years left untuk kerja. Still long way to go. So you need to keep on focus on retirement punya funding. And finally, third stage. Stage yang ketiga. Kalau tadi dia pick up dia grow dia punya net worth ni, kita try to accumulate and dia akan peak at certain points. Selalunya dekat retirement age ni, that's when is the highest points sebab lepas kita retire, kita dah tak dapat gaji anymore. So we need to use whatever amount yang kita dah accumulate sepanjang tahun kita bekerja. And that's where our income ataupun our net worth, our value of assets tu akan menurun. So short term, this is where we need to fulfill our lifestyle. Mungkin lifestyle kita tak sama macam kita bekerja lah. We need to cut down on something yang tak perlu. Mungkin sebelum ni majority of funds kita ada guna untuk transport contohnya. But bila kita dah retire, we don't have to travel anymore. So transportation cost will be reduced contohnya. Okay, and this is where the time untuk you bagi hadiah contohnya, gifts to your family members. And selain daripada tu, since you dah retire sekarang, you don't have to worry about retirement punya anymore lah, sebab this is the time for you to spend your money. And at the same time, you prepare for estate planning. Okay, sebab your punya life expectancy dah nak habis lah ni. Tak mungkin you akan hidup selama-lamanya kan. So you need to prepare for estate planning jugalah, to give wasiat ke, how you want to wariskan your, you know, your assets, your property to your next of kin, okay, to your family members. Okay, so you have to prepare for that as well. Okay, the rest of this is quite technical. I don't intend to go through this hari ini. You can read, nanti kita akan go through this again in our future topics. Kat sini ada about asset allocation. So when we talk about portfolio management, kita kena allocate the assets accordingly. Ikut the asset classes. Okay, short term, long term punya apa, relationship, high risk, high return kind of relationship. So this is the distribution lah, macam mana kita nak allocate the assets according to the distribution yang kita dah discuss tadi. Okay, so all of this akan ada dah dalam policy statement as well. Okay, and dia ada strategi dia. Okay, nanti you read on your own, integrated, strategic, tactical dengan insured asset allocation. And lastly, about theory. So, Markowitz theory ni kita akan go through again. Okay, remember this name, Markowitz. Markowitz ni teori yang very, very popular when we talk about portfolio management. Okay, so kita akan go through this in topic 7 or 8, I can't remember. Okay, kita akan go through Markowitz and akan ada some calculation juga kat sini. Yang awal ni semua teori dia, nanti kita akan go through again assumption and so on bila kita nak buat calculation. Okay, sama juga dengan capital market theory. And with that, I conclude topic number 1. So topic number 1 yang paling penting tadi, you need to know what is investment, the portfolio management process, okay, ada 4 steps tadi. Okay, and setiap satu tu yang banyak pecahan tadi, yang step number 1 lah, yang tadi ni policy statement tadi. Okay, dalam statement ni yang ada objektif, the risk and the constraints. Okay, so yang 2, 3, 4 ni kita akan discuss in our future topics. Okay, in our future topics. So for topic number 2 and 3 later, not today lah, next week. Next week, by the way, kita online lagi. Alright, so Monday next week we still have class. So kita akan go through topic number 2. Topic number 2 is about risk and return. Okay, topic 2, risk and return. Based on individual securities. Okay, but untuk topik number 3 pula, still risk and return tapi based on a portfolio. Tengoklah, either I can do it together, 2 and 3 together, or I buat this separately. Okay, tengok nanti macam mana. Okay, that's for next week lah. So today first, next week third. Ya, kita tak ada cuti lah basically sebab raya on the 10th and 11th. So 15 tu still untuk 15 we still will be online jugalah. So maknanya on the 8 and 15 kita akan still online. Bagi 15 tu online juga after raya. So we will see face to face in week 5 to 22nd. Okay, face to face on the 22nd. Monday, 22nd of April. You're face to face. So prior to that, on the 15th, on the 8th, online. 8 and 15 of April ni online. IJ online ni. Online. Okay, online 8 and 15. So face to face onwards. Alright, ada soalan? Okay, masa ni tak boleh cakap banyak sangat dah. Almost 2 hours ni. So, like biasa, suara-suara dah serak ni boleh minum kan. But now, I think I'll stop here lah for today.
Hello.
So, tengok chat ni ada soalan.
Hello. Dengar tak?
Ya, ya.
Attendance untuk week 1 semua dikira hadir kan?
Week 1 last week kita buat. So siapa yang apa? Yang sign in guna Webex tu dia automatic lah masuk dalam sistem. Together sama juga dengan this week jugalah. So ada yang tanya we don't have WhatsApp group yet. So please create one then. Okay, sebab group satu lagi dah buat dah WhatsApp and they added me. So you can create one and add me in the group as well. If you want to do it, Clarissa, yes, you can do it and add and share the link dengan your colleague. I don't create the group. Alright, so thank you very much. I will share the video nanti dalam apa? I upload dalam YouTube and then I will share the link dalam my guru nanti boleh tengok again. So enjoy the rest of your day. Tak tahu ada kelas lagi kot kan lepas ni. Petang ke. And I'll see you guys next week insyaAllah. Alright, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Alright, thank you Doktor.
Okay,
Thank you, Doctor.